What's going on, comic friends? Near Mint Nando here, and we are back, baby. Hope you guys have been great. It's definitely been a while for real this time. I think it's been about 3 months since I recorded my last video. Needed to take a bit of personal time, took a bit of a hiatus from the end of the year through now, basically. Just had kind of a lot going on from the holidays and around that time, between work, different events, holidays with family. I took a trip. I turned 40 in December. And, I needed to kind of allocate my time, my energy, and my money towards other things. So comics took a backseat to all that. But now we're into the beginning of the year. Things are kind of settling back in. And Megacon was around the corner. So I was debating if it would be worth it for me to go this year. It's been a couple of years since the last time I went. And Megacon is a major show. It can be a bit expensive. But in the back of my mind, I kind of felt like this is what I needed to really get me back into all this. So eventually I decided to go Thursday and Friday of Megacon. I was going to do 2 days. I drove up from Miami, and I'm going to take you on this journey and show you everything that I saw. Not everything, of course, because that would be a lot of footage. But I'll show you some clips. And the last time I went, I was able to sell quite a few books, and I did pretty well with that. So I wanted to bring some books with me to either sell or trade. So first and foremost, I'm going to show you what I brought with me, and then I'll take you through everything, show you the success that I had in selling and trading those books, and we'll get into what I came back with. So the big question is, was this a show to get me back into it? Would this spark my interest again, and would this get me back into the love of collecting comics? Let's find out. So these are the books that I'm going to bring to Megacon to try to potentially move. I'm going to see if I have any luck either selling or trading them. So starting from the top left, we have a fantastic 457, nice copy of this Silver Age beauty here. A Marvel Premiere 15, has the MVS, pretty solid mid-grade copy. Moon Knight 1, probably like a VF. Miss Marvel 18, first appearance of Mystique. Not the best condition on this one. I would call this mid-grade at best. Iron Fist 1, pretty solid like a VF. Here is that Cage 2, the Bruce Timm variant cover. This is a pretty rare book that I showed you in one of my previous videos. I'm not sure if I'm going to be willing to part with this one, but this can potentially be a pretty valuable book in this condition. I'm probably going to shop it around a little bit and see what I might be able to get for it, but chances are I'll hang on to it. Then we have an X-Men 57, nice Silver Age book, but it does have a popped staple. An ASM 210 slabbed, graded a 9.4. I'm going to see if I can unload this baby before the movie comes out in a week or two. This book is hot right now, so hopefully I can sell this one and get a decent amount of cash for it. And then an ASM 151 and an 8.0. Nice book. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Fingers crossed, and hopefully I get a chance to either sell or trade these babies. Just getting gassed up here. About to get this show on the road. All right, and we are off. Turnpike North on the way to Orlando.
It's there. It's there.
You've got to press it on you. You just think it. That's what you do, baby. Hold it down there. Jump with the moment, move it. Jump back and forth and feel like you were there yourself. Work it out. You've got to press it on you. You just think it. That's what you do, baby. Hold it down there. Jump with them all and move it. Jump back and forth and feel like you were there yourself. Work it out.
All right, so you guys got to see some of what I saw at Megacon. The big questions were, was it worth it? And did this spark my interest and get me back into this? The answers to those questions are a resounding yes, absolutely. Megacon was awesome this year. I really had an amazing experience. In the 2 days that I was there, I had 2 full days of wandering around, digging through boxes, buying, selling, trading, meeting dealers and new people, making new comic friends. Plus just in general, it was really good to be at a major show again. I'd been going to mostly local shows for the last couple of years now. I think the last major show I went to was Megacon 2 years ago. And yeah, it was really refreshing. I mean, just such an awesome big production. So many vendors, amazing celebrity guests. As far as comic vendors, you have everyone from local in-state guys to, more major dealers from across the country, like Reese's Rare Comics, who have major books. Dale Roberts, I believe. I showed you some of the footage from his booth. Just amazing books on their walls. Shout out to Reese's, by the way. They remembered me from last Megacon, and super nice, awesome guys. But, wanted to show some love to all the dealers that I met. Everybody that I interacted with, I feel like they really made this for me. It would be a really long list of names to name, so I'm not going to get into all that. But we had dealers from, from here in Florida, from Texas, from Maryland, from upstate New York. Bought books from a lot of those guys, and everyone was really cool. Had a great time just kind of talking to them. They were patient with me because usually I make several rounds around the show. I ask to see books on the wall. I won't buy anything at first, but once I get my bearings on what's what, who's got what books, who's got good prices, that's when I usually start to buy things. So it takes a little bit of patience with me considering the picky collector that I am. But I ended up with some great stuff, and I'm really happy with the outcome. So thank you so much to all the dealers and everybody that I met. Also, shout out to Zach in the Spider-Man costume who recognized me from YouTube, told me he watches my videos. That was really awesome. Zach, if you're out there and you're watching this, hope you had a great Megacon. It was great meeting you, man. So just as far as, the experience overall, again, it was a really big space, as you guys might have seen. I couldn't show you everything, but I was able to book a hotel pretty close by. Day one, I spent $30 on parking just outside the convention center, which is crazy. So that was a big expense. 2 days of tickets ran me around $100 for Thursday and Friday. Then, we're talking gas to get from Miami to Orlando. So there were definitely expenses involved here, and it wasn't cheap. And overall, I thought the prices at, the vendor booths were pretty reasonable for the most part. I mean, it really varied. Of course, you have major vendors that price things higher. Then you have, smaller vendors that usually tend to have some lower pricing, which is great. But there were still some deals to be had. It took a little bit of digging. If you're looking at major wall books, of course, you're going to spend a lot on them, but you can find great stuff in boxes at these shows, and I definitely did. So overall, really great experience. I did spend quite a bit, which is relative, I guess. But, if I was able to budget a bit more, I probably would have spent double. But considering what I was able to do with the books that I brought, and the amount that I kind of budgeted to spend in cash, I thought I did pretty well for myself. So let me show you the books that I came back with. I brought back 8 books in total, and to me, they're all great books. I'm definitely more of a quality over quantity kind of guy. So really happy with this haul, but let me show you exactly what I came back with. All right, so first book up, we have an Amazing Spider-Man 306. This is the Todd McFarlane homage to Action Comics 1. This is a late 80s book, not a very expensive book, but it's one that I was looking for, one that was never worth it for me to buy online. I was looking for a nice clean copy for cheap, and I picked this up for $10, so definitely happy with this buy. Nice, clean, near mint copy here. Nice little addition to the ASM collection. Next up, we have a All New Avengers #1. This is the hip-hop variant. I've mentioned before that I'm a fan of these hip-hop variants, big hip-hop lover. And this one happens to be a great album cover homage to one of my favorites. This is an homage to Illadelph Half-Life from The Roots. And just really dope cover art here. Miles Morales front and center. I collect these, and this is one that I didn't have. So this is a nice copy. The black has a little bit of fading, so it's not perfect. This probably wouldn't grade a 9.8, but these modern books I tend not to grade anyway. I did pick this up in a bundle with another book that I'll show you in a second. So before we talk price, I'll show you that second book, and I'll tell you what I paid for both of them together. All right, next up we have an Incredible Hulk 449, first appearance of Thunderbolts. This is a really clean copy, definitely near mint. Can't see any visible flaws on this. Could be even a 9.8. I might grade this, but this is just a cool modern key, one that I think cooled off a little bit, but I think will get hot again when we hear more news about the Thunderbolts movie. But regardless, this is just a cool modern book that had kind of been on my list. With this and the hip hop variant I just showed you, I paid $80 total. So to me, that's a pretty good deal. Let's say around 60 for this one and 20 for the hip hop variant, or maybe 65 for this and 15 for the other. So that's the price I had in my mind when I was negotiating, and that's the price that the vendor threw at me. So I was happy with that. Shout out to my man from Texas that sold me these two books. Great guy and had some awesome books. Definitely one of the vendors that I really enjoyed interacting with throughout the show. Next up, we have a book that was already in my collection. This is a Daredevil 38 classic Doom cover, beautiful Silver Age book. This is a really nice copy that I only paid $25 for, so I couldn't pass it up. You can see it's pretty clean here. The spine has a few ticks, but it's really not bad. Colors look great. Not too much tanning. For $25, this seemed like a deal. And honestly, I think I'm developing a thing for Doctor Doom covers. I'm collecting more and more of them these days. And this is an awesome one. I just might sell my other copy. So at the end of this video, I'm going to give you some details about where I generally sell books. But shout out to the dude from upstate New York that sold me this one. Really cool, hilarious guy. Had a great time at his booth, just kind of digging and haggling and talking shit. So if you're watching this, I'm sorry I didn't catch your name, and I'm sorry I couldn't shout out your store. But thanks for everything this weekend. I appreciate it. All right, now we're going to start getting into some of the bigger books. These next two books I bought together. Next up, we have an ASM 123. Awesome Luke Cage crossover cover here. This is one that had been on my list, and I hadn't been able to find a nice copy at a good price. This is one that I would generally look for at shows because it's the kind of book that, it's not a super cheap book. I would put it in like the $40 to $60 range or more, depending on condition. But this is one that, I might not want to pay tax and shipping on, so I'd prefer to buy at a show. Was able to find this at a booth with another book that I was really interested in. This is a great copy here. You can see some of the condition. It does need a press, but for the most part, this is nice. I just might have this book graded, but this to me is a great pickup and one that I'd been looking for a while, so I was happy to add this one. After I show you the next book, I'll tell you what I paid for both of these together. Next up, we have probably the second biggest book I came home with. It is none other than ASM 78, First Appearance of the Prowler. This is a great copy of this book. I got it at a great price. And you can see this front cover looks amazing, super clean, edges, corners, everything looks great, really nice gloss. The only thing is the back cover has quite a bit of foxing on it. So that's what brought the price and condition down a bit on this one. I don't think this is going to come out with a clean, but I'm going to try regardless. Despite all that, this is a really nice copy. The back cover, of course, isn't perfect, but the front cover really looks great. Super happy with this pickup here. This and the ASM 123 I bought together, and I paid $150 for both together, which is definitely a great deal. This book can easily get up to like the $200 range. I'm not really sure how I would grade this book considering the back cover, but I still think it would grade pretty high. Really happy with this pickup. This is a book that had been on my list for a while, and I was finally able to find what feels like the right copy. The vendor from Maryland that sold me this was great. I almost bought another big book from him the following day. This was my last purchase on Thursday. Friday morning, I went back and I was looking for an X-Men 50 that I saw at his booth, and it was gone, unfortunately. I almost traded him my Marvel Premiere 15 for credit, and I would have put cash for the X-Men 50, but I just missed it by half an hour, he told me. Bit of a heartbreaker on that one, but really happy with this pickup and the ASM 123. Okay, so on my second day of the show, I only came back with two books. This was one of them. This is an X-Men 32 in very nice condition. This is a classic Juggernaut cover, early appearance, Silver Age X-Men book, really great condition. If you guys can see, the spine looks clean, edges are clean. Bit of tanning, but very nice aside from that. I would probably put this at like a very fine. This would probably grade high. And I ended up picking this up for 75 bucks, which to me is a great deal. Shout out to Mario from Mario's Comics, someone that I've done business with in the past. Pretty hilarious guy. Definitely one of the vendors that I enjoyed, kind of interacting with throughout the weekends. And I'm glad that I was able to, to make a purchase with him. This is one that I've been looking for a while, so I'm glad to finally have it in my collection. Great book, great condition, great price. Last but most certainly not least, we have my biggest pickup of the weekend, the only book that I was able to trade some other books for. So with this book, I was able to trade the ASM 210 graded a 9.4 and the copy of Moon Knight 1 that I showed you for credit. I was able to get 175 bucks in credit with those two books towards this. This is none other than Marvel Superheroes Presents 20, a classic, awesome Doctor Doom cover. Very nice copy of this book. This book is tough to find in high grade considering that it's square bound. But as you can see, it does have some flaws. This book will clean up though. If you see the white, that can be taken off with a clean. Nice back cover. It's got a little bit of a fingerprint mark here that'll come off. A lot of this dirt and smudging will come off. So I'm optimistic on how this book would look after a clean and press. But this is a great book. I ended up getting the price of this down to $300. So with $175 in trade credit, I put another $125 towards this. We'll see what the value is after I get it cleaned, pressed, and graded. But regardless, I'm really happy that I was able to make at least one bigger pickup like this for the weekend. Unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of luck trading or selling the books that I brought, but at least I was able to trade those two and put them towards buying this. So really happy with this pickup here. So what did you guys think of that haul? Leave me some comments. Let me know your thoughts. Personally, I'm really happy with what I came back with, all things considered. What I will say is that I did not have much luck selling or trading the books that I brought with me. Thankfully, I was able to trade those two books that I mentioned towards the Doctor Doom book. So at least, that happened. But aside from that, it was definitely pretty tough. Obviously, with the way the market is now, it's not too surprising that dealers aren't doing too much buying. They're mostly trying to sell and generate that revenue. So I totally get that. I did really push those books. I showed them to almost every dealer that was there. We came close a lot of the time, but just with the way the values are down, I was having a tough time letting go of, the couple nicer books I had for the prices that were being offered. So I passed on a few of those deals. Regardless, it was still fun and interesting to try to wheel and deal. But I'm happy to hold on to the books that I have, considering that, again, they're down a bit in value. But I am selling them on my Mercari page. So if you're interested in these books and want to take a look at them, I'll post a link to that page so you can check them out. But overall, to me, Megacon was awesome this year. I really had a great time in the 2 days that I was there. It definitely was a bit expensive as far as, getting there, paying for a hotel, parking, all that stuff definitely added up. As far as, the cash that I put towards books, I spent maybe $450, which is, it's more than I would spend normally at like a smaller show. But with this, I had to make it worth it, of course. And if my budget wasn't as tight as it is now, I probably would have spent like double that. So overall, really happy with the outcome. The additional expenses to get there, I kind of, put towards the experience overall, which is awesome. Again, this was a big production with so much going on. Awesome cosplayers everywhere. Amazing list of celebrity guests. Just kind of walking through that area and seeing some of these legends was really cool. I also was staying near Whole Foods and went there for coffee on Friday morning and randomly saw Giancarlo Esposito. So that was kind of a fun little interaction. But, again, major shows compared to local shows, there's a massive difference. They come with an expense, but the good ones are worth it, and this definitely proved that. So if you guys went to Megacon also, let me know how your experience was. Curious to hear about it, so leave me some comments. Going forward, I'm definitely going to be working on getting you more content, and I finally made an Instagram and a TikTok page to go along with this one. So check those out. If you want to follow, that'd be awesome. I'll put the links on this page so you can get to those easily. But let me know what you thought of all this. Really appreciate all the engagement. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe if you like what you're seeing in this video. Again, it's great to be back. I feel like I'm fully back into it. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Gonna have more content coming your way, so stay tuned. Appreciate all of you guys, and I will see you next time.